Hi everyone, so in this video I'll talk about the recent changes to the proof of fund by the Canada immigration. Then I'll talk about what are some of the things that we can do, okay, in this scenario. The problem is already there. What can you do? So I will give 10 recommendations in this video that will still help you be able to go through your journey successfully, okay? So the proof of fund over time, I think since 2000, for a single person has actually been $10,000. Okay. And over time, there's been a lot of changes, as to the actual cost of living when you get to Canada. Imagine $10,000, what it could do in 2000. Now we are in 2023. Okay. Imagine what $10,000 is also able to do. Now, what they've discovered, you may be asking, why exactly did they have to change? Is it that they want to cut that migration, or no? They are not really interested in cutting that migration. They want a situation whereby students will come and not get stranded, because they mentioned, I can also attest to that fact, is that some people come and they think, oh, maybe that $10,000 can actually do a lot. And then by the time you come, especially maybe for a place like Ontario, you discover that it's not able to really carry you that far, okay, because of, the differences in how the cost of living has changed over the years. So it's not a totally bad thing, okay? So, but I do have some recommendations to you, okay? Number one thing I would say is that do not panic, okay? Panic, there is really nothing that the panic can actually do for you at this point in time, okay? So just relax and you will be fine. So just relax, you will be fine, and do not quit your plan because of whatever changes you've seen. And just so you are aware, when you are calculating for the proof of funds, you have to use if you go to the IRCC, just type IRCC exchange rate, okay? They have the current official rate for each country. So do not use black market as it is going to be much higher. Use the official. That is already good news, right? That you is going to still be official rate, okay? The second recommendation is going to be this is going to be my suggestion, okay? Before now, people usually pay, maybe there are some schools that require you to pay only maybe $1,000 or $500 for the acceptance fee. Now, if you pay $500, the problem is going to be you will not be left to pay to show the $20,000, and in addition to that, you will be required to also show about close to $18,000, 18,000 Canadian dollars for your tuition. If I'm talking about a single applicant now, that actually now makes everything to be around, maybe close to 38 to 40,000 that you need to show. Now, one of the things I would recommend is if you can pay the first semester tuition. In fact, I presume, this is not official, but I presume there's going to be a preference moving forward on people that are able to pay at least one semester tuition, or if you can even pay the first year tuition. I know that's tough, but at least pay the first year, first semester tuition. And the good thing about paying this tuition, anybody, your family friend, your uncle, your aunt, whoever, they can help you to pay tuition. For this case, you don't really have to show who paid the tuition. It's not really necessary, right? So in case you have friends that say, oh, I want to support you, because when you send the money to the account, then it's going to be big deal trying to justify relationship. But if you say, oh, can you assist me to pay my tuition, they're helping you, right? Which is good, right? I also say they're not going to be angry, or they don't really worry about where you got the tuition paid. That's why you have your tuition receipt. That is it. So that is the first thing. If you have people around that can help, this is your life, so it is not really bad for people to help. So I don't think IRCC will be angry that somebody is helping you, or maybe a friend, a distant friend. So you can use attendment tool. You can send them the link to your payment portal for your tuition, and then see a way you can put this together at least to pay that first semester tuition. That way, you will be left to show the balance of the 1 year tuition, which is let's say around, let's say $8,000 or $9,000 plus $20,000. That's around $29,000 as compared to showing around $40,000, right? That's going to be the first thing. Now, even though your program is a 2 years program, you are not really going to be required to pay to show 2 years of cost of living and 2 years of tuition. It is minimum of 1 year cost of living and 1 year tuition. So that's going to be my first recommendation. Just desist from paying only the $500, $1,000 deposit. Try to pay minimum of that first semester tuition. Now, the second thing or the third thing now, okay, I'm going to recommend is revisit the source of the funds that you were planning to use. Okay. Now this can be for those that already got admission, already paid for the tuition deposit, and not planning to apply for visa. Maybe you're planning to apply sometime in February, March of 2024, or as the case may be, whatever. So revisit what was the plan you have. Okay, if you're planning to have a personal sponsor yourself, no, so within the space of little time, will you be able to raise this additional $10,000 that is required? And you have to ask yourself, if how am I going to raise this? Okay, it is a lot difficult. Okay, I'm going to talk about your salary earner, if you're a business owner, much later part of the video. Revisit that and come up with a new game plan. Okay, if you are if you have someone that was planning to sponsor you, maybe your brother, your sister, whoever, you have to talk to them as soon as possible and say, hey, bro, sis, or father, mother, dad, mom, maybe there is a new development, right, in terms of the price has actually gone up, and I would really need more assistance, and see if they have that funds. Okay, it's not really going to be the best idea now to just put this lump sum money in the account, because they really still want you to justify it. Okay, now if based on what I'm going to be recommending in other steps, it will depend whether you are doing personal or somebody is sponsoring you. Okay, now as we've already informed them, now the number four thing, which is going to be the crux of this whole talk, is going to be you have to, as much as possible, look for an alternative income source as soon as possible. Okay, an income source that you can justify the source. Now, for those that are earning salary, the problem becomes, in the space of 2-3 months, how are you going to increase your salary, right? If you even discuss with your boss and say, oh, I want to, like, you can't really just say I want to get higher pay, which makes people that earn salary to be kind of a little bit of disadvantage when it comes to this option. Okay, so what I would recommend, okay, is as soon as possible, get to start a business. If you are not doing that and you're planning to apply for Canada, you are wrong. I mean, that is my suggestion. Okay, start a business as soon as possible and get it registered. Okay, now you might be asking, what kind of business can I do? Okay, make sure as much as possible it is going to be a scalable business. Okay, which means it's something within the space of maybe 5 to 6 months, you'll be able to get a lot of inflow. Okay, and when you want to register a kind of a business like that, make sure it's something that you can get a huge sum. Okay, maybe things you can sell that is an equivalent of $500, $1,000, $1,500, as the case may be. Okay, it is a lot, but that's going to be it. That way, what you can do is, even though you get a loan to start a business, which is very normal, right? It is not an illegal thing. So whatever advice I'm giving in this video, I try as much as possible to say in a way that it becomes, a legal thing that you're doing. You're not doing something illegal, right? So you can get a loan from anybody, can get a loan from for a business, right? And when you get a loan for a business, and then you're able to maybe buy one or two things and quickly do a flip, okay? Quickly do a flip, buy them, sell, buy and sell, buy, sell. And that way, you're already building that customer rapport. And by the time you now want to start planning this, your Canada proof of one thing, that is when your account has to kind of come in, right? So you have to be very strategic to make sure there is a bit of more inflow into your account and less outflow. That way you're able to keep the funds, okay, for at least for some time till your application is submitted. That way you are able to save some money that you now be used to, that you now use to show for funds, and the way you go to Canada, you can also use that. So it's a very short-term plan. So it's not like it's a very short-term plan, maybe 1 year. Okay, you can plan that way. Now you may ask, do I use a personal account or a business account? It doesn't matter. Okay, if you want to use a business account, the thing is that they don't really like it when you show a business account. Okay, so showing a personal account is a better option. Even though you have a business and you are using a personal account, it's still okay, right? It's not big corporation like that, or you have different like 100 teams that are managing finances. It's just you, right? It's just you managing finance and everything. So but you have to explain in your letter of explanation that you are actually using your personal account for this business because you don't really want the funds to move out within that shortest possible time. Okay, so another thing is that if you have funds in your business account, things you can prove. Another thing is you can also move money from the business account to your personal account, but make sure you keep the receipts, okay? The receipts and maybe any kind of picture to justify that this transaction actually took place, and then you can show the IRS some of this evidence why you are applying, okay? The fourth thing I want to suggest is that you can do properties, okay? Property sales, buy and sell. So what you can do is maybe you can, buy a that's why I said you have to plan your studies at least 1 year ahead or even 2 years, okay? That way you can buy property now, have the, deed of, sale from the other person and keep that. And then another thing you can do, maybe after like 6 months, you can sell this property. Therefore, no matter what, you're going to have some percentage actually entering, entering your account by the reason of this. Now, if you do that and the IRS says, okay, I bought this and then I sold it after 6 months, you have to be able to show documentations for that. Okay. Now, if it is somebody else that is sponsoring you, like I said, just have to talk to them and see if they have more funds to show, discuss with them. If they are business people, then they may have to do one or two flip to be able to raise more funds from their business. Okay. Now, this sixth thing is going to be try to talk to family members, but it's good to have proof of relationship with them. Okay, there are maybe family members you haven't thought of talking to, try to talk to them, but like I said, it must have proof of relationship to these family members. Okay, now if they are sending you big sum, IRS will want you or will want that person to justify where they got that funds from. Okay, that way you don't want to have issues when the money is too much. Okay, it has to be really justified to show their source of income. Okay, that's another talk to family members and see if there are things they can pull around. Okay, so they can pull around. And then the seventh thing is going to be scholarship. Okay, if you have a scholarship, now to me it just seems like you're probably going to need to show a little bit more funds. Okay, because if your scholarship as a master's and you're getting like $25,000 for master scholarship, or even $23,000 for masters, and your tuition is $10,000. If you remove $10,000 tuition from that, what happens is that you're left with only $10,000. Okay, and that is not going to be up to the required amount for the for fund, which is the $20,000. Okay, that's about it. Now the eighth thing, if you're coming with dependents, it hasn't really changed a lot, so it's still the same requirement for dependents. It's only the applicant that has changed. Okay, now the ninth advice I would say, don't be in a hurry. Okay, don't be in a hurry at all. Don't say, "Oh, I must go travel to Canada in the next 5 months, in the next 3 months." No, 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 no. Take your time and plan at least 9 to 12 months ahead of time, so that you can have time to implement and then apply for admission early, so that when your admission comes out, you can start putting one or two things together. Okay, and then the 10th advice is going to be, talk to a professional. Okay, this is a very difficult times, I understand, for Canada immigration, but talk to a professional. Okay, you can tell the person, share your story, this is what I have, and then the person may be able to guide you what and what you should do. Okay, and that's actually where I come in. Okay, I do have a very good one-on-one mentorship program. You can reach out to me. There's going to be a link in the description. You can sign up, and then we can have a one-on-one conversation, just like I'm having now. We can talk and then look at what are some of the options that it's available, and then what I want, should I do, and then I can be able to give you some advice and suggestion. Okay, if I'm to crown all of these up, I'm going to just do a recap. Okay, is to make sure you justify any kind of funds that you're showing. Make sure you justify it. Is very important. They want to see that the source. Okay, just to summarize, don't panic. Okay, and talk to your revisit the source of funds that you have. Think of an alternative. So that is the big picture. If you haven't registered a business, in fact, after watching this video, go and think about how to register a business, because that is the only way now you can be able to pull funds together. Maybe you sell one or two things you will be having for your business, and I mean, it's a good way. You can scale up a business as soon as possible. But for salary, you cannot scale up a salary, so it's going to be very difficult for salary earners, except those that work in SMOB, Shell, and Schlumberger, that probably earn thousands of dollars every month. Yeah, they will still be able to do that. Or maybe your family member, they have a lot of money in their bank account. Yes, that would be sure. But if you still have maybe sometimes September to resume, and you don't really in a hurry, you can still apply for visa in June, July next year. So go and register a company as soon as possible, and then start building inflow into the company. Buy one or two things, and then let the outflow be really minimal. So you buy, you sell the things, and then you keep the money. Okay, you keep the money because they want to see that money in your account, and that is the money that you're going to use when you get to Canada to be able to survive, because cost of living now is over the roof. Okay, it's really, really expensive. And then if you are still in doubt, you don't really know what to do, reach out to me. I have some more ideas that I've always shared in this video. I can guide you further, so check the link in the description, and I'll be able to help. So don't worry, don't panic. All things being equal, you should still be able to get all of this done. So that's going to be the little contribution I have. If you enjoyed this video, why don't consider liking this video, and then put a comment in the comment section. What is the biggest challenge you have right now? What is the biggest challenge you have right now? Put it in the comment section. I may be able to give you free consultation if I see how peculiar your situation is. So yeah, put it in the comment section what your challenge is now, and then I will probably do a follow-up video to give more ideas on this. So that's going to be it for this video, and thank you so much for watching. I'll say cheers.